Sharon M. Atkinson here, MacGyver of Design. Today is Tuesday, November 25, 2025. The time now is 1:56 p.m. This will be the 146th content video that I'm going to place in my 46 playlist, Mind'sEyeFaith. This is part 23 in the series, What Does Jehovah God Want for Jesus, aka Michael? The theme scriptures are Genesis 3:15 and Galatians 3:16. Let's begin. And I shall put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He will bruise you in the head, and you will bruise him in the heel. That's Genesis 3:15. Let's continue to Galatians 3:16. Now the promises were spoken to Abraham and to his seed. It says not, and to seeds, as in the case of many such, but as in the case of one, and to your seed, who is Christ. We were speaking last week about royalties and nobles in heaven. And we understand that the 24 elders are royals, having crowns and thrones. We understand that there was 144,000 taken from earth that were given thrones, but they were given harps as their accompaniment, singing songs. They did not have crowns. Now let's expand on that a little bit more, because we talked about the cherubs also, who are royals, a part of the royal entourage. And the four living creatures, we identified them as cherubs. It says so in the book of Psalm, that Jehovah God is flying on the wing of a spirit, flying on the cherubs, it says. Something to that effect, didn't it not? We read that. Let's find out some more about the Seraphs. Who are the Seraphs? Now, let's read something that we need to underscore before we begin. Jesus Christ was made high priest. He was made high priest in the manner of Melchizedek. We can read that in Hebrews 7. And let's read verse 22. To that extent, also Jesus has become the one given to pledge of a better covenant. Let's read 25 and 26. Consequently, he is able also to save completely those who are approaching God through him, because he is always alive to plead for them. For such a high priest as this was suitable for us, loyal, guileless, undefiled, separate from the sinners, and become higher than the heavens. Talking about Jesus Christ being the high priest. Now, humans for a long while, especially Bible students, have believed that the only priest in heaven would be Jesus Christ, and those who were taken from the earth being priests. But let's identify the Seraphs. In Hebrews chapter 6, we read about the Seraphs. It says here in verse 2, Seraphs were standing above him. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he kept his face covered, and with 2 he kept his feet covered, and with 2 he would fly about. In verse 6, at that, one of the seraphs flew to me, and in his hand there was a glowing coal that he had taken with thongs of the altar. And he proceeded to touch my mouth and to say, look, this has touched your lips, and your error has departed, and your sin itself is atoned. Who atones for sins? Isn't that the priest, the work of the priest? In the typical setup with the tabernacle and the high priest and the lower priest, the Levites. Wasn't that the work of the priest? So we have here in heaven those who do the work of the priest, lower priests, and Jesus Christ would be the high priest. If there's a high priest, there are under priests. The under priests in heaven are also spirit persons. Did Jehovah God actually need to take humans from the earth and bring them to heaven to satisfy those roles? Did he not have a king? Did he not have a priest? He made Jesus Christ king and priest. Did he not have under priests? The Seraphs are under priests of Christ. We were honored to be brought in, some of us, into the heavenly realm to serve as a focus group, a target group. Did we appreciate that? Do we want all? Do we want more? Yet Jehovah God has it all worked out